All right, so what we're going to work on next is the headstock. And I'm going to hold my Alt key down and I'm going to roll my wheel mouse in or away from me so that it zooms in. And I'm going to just, oops, get out of that. Let's go ahead and just use our selection tool and move the headstock over a little bit. So I'm moving the background image just by clicking on it and dragging it, holding my left mouse button down as I drag. So we're going to kind of put it right here. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to use my pen tool. And with the pen tool, I can snap to the end of this point here. And I can left click about where I want. And again, left click over here. And you can see it's starting to create that shape. Now, I don't want to do the whole shape. I'm only going to do the upper half, and then we're going to reflect it just like we did the other one. So here, I'm just going to come down, and it's picking up like the middle of the font. So I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to come over here, and we're just going to come down to where that intersection is. Looks like it's anchoring there, and that's great. So there's our shape. So I'm going to use my selection tool. I'm just going to drag this off to put a little space in there. So I've got the upper half of the headstock here. So then we want to put in the tuning knobs here. So to do that, we're just going to use a circle. So over here to our shapes, I'm going to left click, hold that down so it gives my tool, and it's actually the ellipse tool. But what the ellipse tool will do is just make a circle. So you can see here that I can make it any shape. So maybe you do want to make it an ellipse, but depending on how you drag, you can see that it's just going to make a circle. All right. So then I'm going to use my selection tool and we're going to drag that to about where we want it to be. And then I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to copy it by using my Control C and then Control V, and that makes it another shape. So I'm just going to put this one here, slightly move it up a little bit, and then I'm going to Control V, and we'll move that one over here a little bit. Okay, so now if we turn this off, again, the background image is turning that layer off. You can see we've got our 3 spaces. Now, what we can also do is select each one of these, and if we go to our properties, you've got some alignment tools. So what I can do is align horizontally, or if I expand this, I can actually distribute is what I want to do. So I want to distribute the objects, and I want to distribute it that way. So now I've got even spacing between the two. So I'm using the distribute center. So it's distributing those out. Now you can space them out as well. So if I want to move them over, you can kind of place them the way you want. You want to drag this down. If I keep them all the same distance apart, that's kind of really up to you how you want this to look. So I'm going to actually move this guy over a little bit, put him more on the end here, and we'll move this one over a little bit more, getting them to look right. And you can see as you move it, it'll give you some guidance. So that actually gives you good spacing between the two, or the 3 objects there. Okay. So then what we're going to do is use another shape, which is the rectangle shape. And I'm going to create a rectangle just for the knob here. Okay. So again, I got that kind of centered the way I want, and I'm going to Control C, Control V, and then use the selection tool here. And we're going to zoom in a little bit. If you don't get the right tool, there we go. We want that tool there so I can move it up. And we're going to place it there in the center. And it doesn't matter as long as it's just hiding that part of it. And I'm going to go Control V again. And we're going to move this guy and intersect that one. So there's our shapes. Okay. Now we're going to take this circle. I'm going to Control C, Control V, and we're just going to drop that. Now you can't see it, so I'm going to change the fill color to white so that we can see it. And then I can move it up and we can place it in here. maybe I want to make it a little bit smaller. And again, we'll just intersect it there. Then I Control C, Control V that one. And we'll do the same thing, kind of line that one up, make that one about there. And I'll Control V again. And we come in here and line that one up as well. Okay. So now what we need to do is to mirror this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all these pieces, and we're going to use that object transform, and we're going to reflect. And this time we're going to do horizontal, and we're going to make a copy. And then we can move this guy down and drop it there. And then there's the other part of our headstock. Okay. So again, you can maybe make these a little bigger, depending on how you want this to look. All right. So what we need to do now is we need to kind of merge all these together and then cut out these holes. So I'm going to show you that here in the following video. That's an important step because this needs to be all one kind of outline shape. And I'm going to show you that in the following video.